Alright, well this is Aaron Squire coming to you guys again. Tonight we've got episode 42 coming at you. We've got Gwaer here, and apparently he's a dragon tonight. He actually...
I'm always a dragon.
He's always a dragon. Then we're going to talk about the patch notes. We're going to briefly mention the Drew Walker interview that I did at Gen Con about the PvE stuff. Talk about maybe a couple of spoilers from set 2, and then do a deck doctor of some sort. We haven't actually even decided on which deck, so if you have a deck that you want to see us do tonight, then let me know. And yeah, so I guess we'll just start it right in here with the interview. So Gwaer, talk to me about your Hex TCG or your TCG background first. I mean, as a dragon, gotta be kind of difficult to hold the cards and then find places that can fit, you know, your dragon body. You know?
Yeah, I actually invented trading cards some time back. So
that's your background. That's what you're claiming.
Yes, as a dragon.
As a dragon. Dragon trading
yes.
card. Well, then that would be special. They had to be fire retardant in a certain size, right?
Well, no, I invented them for the mortals to play, and I just watch.
Oh, okay.
I'm a watcher.
Oh, okay.
Which I suppose I could get into the fact that now Gwaer actually means to watch. It is an old English thing.
So
yes.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to know where you would get such a name as Gwaer. Like, where did that come from? Where did that come about from?
Because I like to watch things.
Because you like to watch, so Gwaer is that. Okay.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So basically, that's what it is.
So as a dragon, it must be very difficult for you to get onto the internet as you know. But I mean, you obviously got on. You got on the Kickstarter, right? You're one of the Kickstarter backers for Hex. So how did you find Hex?
I am. Basically, I accidentally found Hex. What did I just finished spending way too much money on Star Citizen, I think, right before the Hex.
Star Realms?
Yeah. No, Star Citizen, the space sim.
Oh yeah,
thing.
Yeah. That's the one where they had that helmet flip thing, and they kept showing the audience, and they kept going crazy about it. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. Basically, I have a problem, and that is that Kickstarter takes my dragon horde away from me.
Well, I mean, it must be hard to sleep at night, you know, because you need gold, right? Because you can't just sleep on like hay and stuff because you'd burn it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So I actually purchased too many thousands of dollars of Kickstarter goods. That I believe I got two things. I have two things that I bought on Kickstarter. Anyway, so yes, I have this Kickstarter addiction. And I just finished with Star Citizen, which I spent multiple $1,000s on, and then I'm like, okay, I've got to stop this Kickstarter nonsense. I am too poor for that. I cannot do it.
Right,
so,
right. Well, I mean, you have to sleep as a dragon, so.
Well, dragons. I mean, sleeping isn't really a requirement for dragons, but I do like it. I'm a lazy dragon.
Right.
But anyway, so yes, then I'm like, okay, I'm done with Kickstarter. I'm not going on Kickstarter for a long time. The next day, I went on Kickstarter and saw Hex TCG trading card game, and I thought that it would be not really up my alley, but then as I read the description, I bought it anyway.
Gems, right? I mean,
I do. I like gems.
Yeah, I mean, socketing them.
I like the fact that the cards are digital. You may not know this, but actually dragons speak wirelessly already.
I could see that.
So that aids me. That aids me with my internet issue, is that I can now wirelessly interface with these computer devices and use that as sort of my medium. So now my trading card, which I invented but never got the enjoyment from because I can't play it as a dragon, I can now play online through my wireless dragon speak.
Oh, well, that's always good. Actually, I should probably bring up the chat so people can see what people are saying in the chats. So let's see. We talked about how you found Hex, your TCG background. Like, do you do any content? Do you stream as a dragon? I mean, is that possible for you to do that wirelessly too? Or?
Yes. I do stream. However, the Dragon Council has limited my bandwidth usage.
Oh,
I am
okay.
going to kill them. I'm going to kill them so that I can
I guess that's one
actually
solution.
yes.
So if
I'm
people
going
wanted to
kill
watch
them.
you stream your games on Twitch TV, I'm guessing, where would they go?
They would go to twitch.tv/Gwaer. I mean, that's pretty much
Okay,
where I'm at all the time.
right,
Pretty much, if you want to find me, you just type Gwaer into Google, and there I am.
right. You're the only Gwaer, right? Yeah, I mean, I had that
Pretty
problem
much.
for a little while personally, like with Aaron Squire, where passages from Don Quixote kept beating me out, but now I beat him because
Yeah,
people are more
exactly.
interested in me than a passage from Don Quixote. So that's pretty
I
good.
would hope so. I would hope
Yeah.
so.
All right, so let's go ahead and go to the news. So quite a few things that Hex put out, but they're very like small little snippets of things. And then we got, of course, 7 minutes ago, we got the Friday update. So we had to catch up on that and read that very, very quickly. Luckily, dragons are good speed readers. And so yeah, we got all caught up on that. So on the 26th of August, they had a hot patch where they said we're now going to have those 128 player tournaments again. So if you guys haven't tried those, you could try those out. And all of the Gen Con promos are now in the game, so you can actually activate all your codes. I went ahead and got my stuff set up, and so now I've got plenty of things to give away. In fact, we'll be doing at least a sleeves giveaway. If I get 20 people in channel, I'll do a giveaway for either the alternate art or the what's it called, the PVE champion, whichever one you fits your fancy at the very end of the program. So Gwaer, anything else to add on to this as a dragon? I'm just gonna keep tagging that on as a dragon.
Well, I mean, honestly, dragons are not really interested in the affairs of mortals, but I've got to say that I approve of hotfixes in general because of their heat.
Oh, well, there you go. They help out. All right. So next thing, we got the free community tournament. If you hadn't heard, tomorrow there's going to be this community tournament. It's going to be at 1900 Greenwich Mean Time or at 12 p.m. Pacific. And then for us Central people, let's see. So if it's 6 o'clock at Cryptozoic and it's 8 o'clock now, that means that, oh gosh, math. That means it'll be 10 o'clock my time, right? Is that right? I always get this
It will
wrong.
be. Well, hold on.
Yes, I do mean
What time is it? It's at noon. It's at noon, right? What time
it's
is
at
it?
noon
Cryptozoic time?
Cryptozoic time, so Central Time would be minus
All right.
2.
So it'll be
10.
3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central.
Oh, okay. Well, I always get that wrong. Why do I always do that? I always do that.
It's +2 for you.
+2.
Plus 2
Okay.
hours, and plus 3 hours for Eastern.
So if you come on tomorrow, very good chance we're basically doing a stress test and we're going to crash the servers again. But they're still getting valuable data. If the tournament actually fires and you get 1 win, you get 1 Shard of Fate pack. 2, you get 2. 3, you get 6, and then 4, you get 12. It's only going to go for 4 rounds, so that's like a maximum of 4 hours out of your time. Of course, last time we sat around for about an hour and a half or 2 hours while they were holding the tournament. So my suggestion is log in as soon as the tournament is up, like 2 hours beforehand, and then get your deck set, put yourself in queue for the tournament, and then just leave the client up. That's my suggestion. A lot of people talked about the blue circle loading thing. In fact, they made loading screen sleeves and they put them on and everyone laughed about it. So yeah, I mean, that's going on tomorrow. I encourage you guys to come out anyways, even though it may just crash the tournament. We may actually not get to play, but I hope that we do. So Gwaer, anything else to add on to that?
I'm going to be there, and I'm looking forward to it. I liked the last tournament, even though we didn't play anything. There was a lot of
A lot of hype.
camaraderie. There's a lot of camaraderie. There was a lot of talking that happened in the in the channels,
Chat.
and everyone had a good time in the chat.
Yeah, I don't think
So
there was any
I'm looking
malice
forward to it.
there.
No, absolutely not.
Moving
I mean,
on.
I will be streaming. Well, I will be playing Hex while away from my computer, though. So whoever I end up against, I apologize for not playing quickly because it's very difficult to do that. It is Dragon Con this weekend, and that is basically in celebration of me. I
Right,
also
true.
invented Dragon Con,
Right,
so I have to be there for adulation.
right. Moving on, the VIP program is going away. So Corey basically talked about this in the 29th update, where if you made infinite free accounts and then you basically got VIP on each of them, you would get packs for $1. And then you would be able to resell them on the auction house, and it would break the economy, and they would never be able to sell packs for $2. That was basically the gist of it, and that's why they had to pull it back. I could see them maybe making the VIP program something more like, I don't know, maybe the drafts, getting a draft a week, so you actually had to play. So you're not actually getting free packs. You're it maybe something where like your draft costs you $5 or something, like, So what would that would be a $20 VIP program. I think that would be doable. Gwaer, what do you think about the VIP program changes?
I mean, I understand where they're coming from and why they had to do it, and I agree that I hope they bring back some sort of subscription model in the future. What that actually looks like, I can't say. The issue is, even if you if you give a discounted draft, that's probably fine.
Sure.
But I mean, you are asking a much heftier subscription at that point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the original VIP program was like $10 a month or something. I think
$4, $4 a month.
$4 a month, yeah, and then you were paying $1 a pack. So, yeah, I mean, that's a little bit ridiculous. We haven't seen trading in game yet, so it would have been even worse if there was trading in game, because you just make all these stub accounts, trade to your main account, and have $1 packs, which is not acceptable. So
Exactly.
they got to feed their kids too. So I'm okay with that.
Well, not only that, but I mean, they have to keep the servers on so that we can play Hex.
True. True. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of accounts logged in for one person, possibly. Moving on, the Friday update. With this just dropped like 7 minutes before we started the program, so Gwaer and I read through this, sped right through it. Basically, the main thing here is that they're now going to have like some of the people that have helped out the community a lot, like Hex Colin. I don't think anyone has like measured up to this guy. He's flown people out to the conventions. He's done a lot for the community.
He hasn't flown people out to the conventions. He has flown tons of people out to the conventions.
True.
From all over the world. Like, no, I'm not talking like, okay, yeah, I'll pay your $100 flight. Like, yeah.
So, yeah. He's done a lot for the community. So he's going to be the rank of Exalted and get another vanity card is what he's going to get for that. And so other people are going to get this as well. I believe that the Threshold podcast, they're also getting a vanity card, maybe for their work with the community or something. I can't remember exactly.
No, he actually won. It's actually not Threshold podcast. It's Matt.
It's
Threshold Matt specifically.
Yeah, just him.
Yeah, he won the streamer, the 24-hour stream. There was one basically vanity sleeve that was the grand prize, and he won that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, congratulations to Matt for that one. I did watch the Threshold podcast. What?
Speaking of Matt, he gave me, of his own volition and in deference to my majesty, a Eldritch Dreamer poster painting that's actually like on canvas that I currently have hanging at the entranceway to my lair. That whenever anyone enters my lair, the first thing they have to do is gaze upon the Eldritch Dreamer art, and it is the best thing ever.
Right. So next they revealed one of the new Set 2 champions, and I'm not sure if we saw this. I saw some spoilers on these. I don't think I did see this specific one, but is War Master Fuzuko maybe, like fuzzy.
Fuzuko, yeah.
Yeah,
did you
like
get it? Yeah.
Yeah, like he's a fuzzy
furry
bunny. Right, yeah, okay.
Fuzzy's furry, right.
So 2 Wild Threshold 5. Troops you control get permanent +1/+1. So it's basically like having Evolve in your hand. I think this was a really good step forward. The Shin Hair, those Battle Hoppers really needed some more +1/+1 generators. So anything else you want to add to that, or I think it's a really good thing. I think he could have actually costed less. The 5 seems a little bit high, but
Ooh, to be honest, after playing Set 2 at Gen Con, I believe that that is going to be ridiculously strong at 5. Did you see how many
Well, there's a lot of
charge?
charge. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of things that generate charges
I
now.
mean,
So
you're gonna be throwing out five charges.
pretty quick.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to cast that 3 times by the time you like turn 7 easily.
Yeah, champions are going to be a lot different, definitely after the after set 2 with all the charge generation for sure.
Right. I believe the fastest I saw, someone had 3 giant squirrel titans out before turn 10, and
Wow.
that's 7 cost.
Right, that is quite a lot. Then Corey goes on to talk about, I don't know, like not really a ton of stuff stood out to me. Basically, he revealed a card on his Twitter feed, which was I believe it's an orc in blood 1 and 1 threshold, and it's was it a 1/2 that he refuses to block because of something, because of his, I have to look it up. Then he also has what is it, Rage 1, so he gets +1/+0, and he doesn't die either, really. Like he just, I think he's
Well,
invincible.
he does die. He's invincible if one of your opponents is at 10 health or
If they're at
less.
10 or less. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
So I don't know. It seemed like a pretty nice, flavorful card. Definitely a high draft pick. But yeah. So that's pretty much.
Yeah,
all
it seems like a great card.
Go ahead.
The basically from what I can tell, they're going to continue on their WoW TCG tack of basically having some very flavorful cards that break their templating, and that worked out very well, I think, for WoW TCG, and I believe it'll work out just fine for Hex as well.
Right. In fact, I think that guy's on here. So this is, somebody posted this on the Reddit forums, like right as soon as we got back from Gen Con. This is a bunch of the different spoiler cards. So we'll probably just talk about a couple of these that we didn't talk about before. I'm trying to find him on here. I'm not seeing him. I'm going to skip over ones we talked about last week, which actually made, I guess I'm not going to find him, so I guess we'll just go until we find things. There's that Highland Shinobi. So I guess we'll just talk about a couple of these. So Exalted Victory, this is 4 and 1 diamond threshold. Troops you control get +2/+0 this turn. Humans you control get Steadfast and Swiftstrike this turn. Seems alright as a trick. It's basic action speed. It's not really even a trick. It's more like just trying to push through for the win. I'd say it's probably more of a draft card than it is a constructed card. If you're going to play a constructed, you're probably going to play maybe 2 if you play it. Anything else to add? Dragonborn Gwaer.
Oh man, Exalted Victory. I mean, honestly, I think it's a pretty good card.
Yeah.
I don't see it in constructed. You're right. I agree. I don't see. Well, I mean, there's honestly no tell. We haven't seen all of the set, so there's no telling what may make it playable. But definitely, it's a great limited pick, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's one of those. It's like an overrun or something. Like it's just like, I'm just gonna push through a bunch of damage, and get some really good trades with that Swiftstrike. Sentinel of Nulzan. So this kind of reminds me of the guy that we draft a lot. What is it? The 2/2. The Nulzan, the other guy, that's Socketable Miner.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yes.
The 2/2
he's
for 3.
the
I forget what his name is.
He is.
Anyways, he's a lot like
something
him.
of Nulzan.
Yeah, he's another Nulzan that's 2/2, and he only costs 3. This guy costs 5, but he's double Socketable Miner. Seems pretty good. He'll go in a lot of decks. Let's see, what could you socket him with? Minor sockets. You could give him
Swiftstrike, Spellshield.
Yeah, Swiftstrike, Spellshield, or you could give him Swiftstrike and what is it called? The Blood Rage Aura thing. You could do a lot with them. Of course, that was more. That happened to me with what's it called? The Cockatwice. Yeah, that was annoying. I got Cockatwiced in my draft.
Dude, Cockatwice is my favorite card, I think, of all time. It is fantastic. Lethal, Spellshield, Swiftstrike. There you go.
I mean, that's
Done.
saying a lot, isn't it?
It actually is a dragon. It's a very small dragon.
It's a very small dragon. Well, I see a lot of people in channels. This is pretty exciting for me. We might actually be able to give away something pretty nice today. Preservation is a quick action. Says ready target troop if it gets permanent +1/+2. So it's a nice trick for limited play. And if your stuff, if they attack in and your stuff's not readied, you get to ready it. So I mean that's pretty sweet. I mean I like it. I could actually see this making maybe a 2 of in constructed play. So anything to add to that, Gwaer?
Not really. I think that it was one of the strongest cards in draft that we were doing in set 2.
Yeah,
pretty much an auto
it's such
pick.
a surprise, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even like have things that have to attack every turn, like Arena Brawler, and you could use it with that. You know, stuff
Cray
like that.
Squirrel Titan.
So yeah, Cray Squirrel Titan. You know, that'd be a really big 7/8 Squirrel Titan.
Yeah, suddenly you have a there's the Cray Squirrel Titan has been jump blocked. Suddenly he's also blocking the next turn when your big guy tries to attack, and he's buffed. Like it's a very good combat trick.
One of my old time favorites, which doesn't ever get to see play anymore. Fist of Brigadon. You know, it'd be fun to play it on him too.
Sure.
Next one, Light of Hope. Target troop gets +1/+1 and life drain this turn. As a quick action, another trick, decent. It's probably going to be better in draft than it is in constructed. I would definitely play the other one that I play Preservation over this in constructed.
Sure. I like it with heroic inspiration.
Sure.
2-cost combat trick that you get life drain and +8, +9/+9.
It's kind of a 2-for-1 if you're going to do all that, though. I mean, you're just blocking one
That's
guy.
true, but you're gonna kill the guy, and you're gonna get like 20 health back.
Well, not that much, but yeah.
It depends on what you block with.
Isidore? Zombies you control have lethal. Lethal basically means you get to destroy things. There's not... How many zombies are even out there? I can't think of too many.
Well,
I think there's the bone skeleton guy. I think he's a zombie, right? The one that,
no, I don't think he is. However, this guy...
Good.
Yeah, this guy is actually amazing. He's part of a fantastic draft combo in set 2. He's probably one of the best cards.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not legendary. He's only rare, huh?
Well, there's a different blood guy that's legendary that is pretty strong. That gives everything -1/-1, and he gets +1/+1 every turn. He's very good.
Someone talked to me about. Yeah, I think that I heard them on the Threshold podcast talking about that. So his one shot, if I'm reading it right, I'm not sure how much it costs, but it says revert up to 2 target troops in graveyards, transform those cards into zombies, and put them into play under your control. Now I'm guessing that these are not going to be the same troops. They're going to be like 2/2 zombies. Would that be right?
Oh, they're just going to be normal zombies, right?
Yeah, so probably, yeah, like with vampires before, like I thought that it made the troop into a vampire. It just added the type vampire instead of making 2/2 flying vampires.
No, it's a specific card.
Yeah. Field Tactician.
However, I'm gonna go ahead and let you in on the crazy combo with this guy. Your 15 viewers currently can have a head start. There's another card that we might talk about named Phil Cape, and basically Phil Cape has the ability revert everything in play at the end of your turn. You play Isidore, and you play Phil Cape. You do your one shot. You get your 2 zombies. Those zombies revert back into whatever they were before. He gets his one shot back. You do it next turn.
That's ridiculous.
And basically, you get as many things as you want that are whatever you want.
Yeah.
For I think 2 cost, and it's freaking ridiculous. By the way, Phil Cape is the most broken card ever printed anywhere, but that's fine.
Moving on. Field Tactician says 1 shot, 0 exhaust target troop. I guess it's okay. It's not really anything stupendous. That's not too much else I can say about this. It's a 2/1 at least.
Sure.
Yeah. So moving on. Wrathwood Master Moss. When this dies, transform it into Wrathwood Mossling and put that into play. I'm not sure what Wrathwood Mossling looks like.
A Wrathwood Mossling is a 2/2, I believe, that has the ability when it deals damage to a champion, turn it back into a Wrathwood Master Moss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is nice because this also helps out with the extinction. This guy is legendary. So kind of a big deal, especially for Wild, because Wilds didn't have a lot of answers to the removal in Blood, and this guy is pretty good for that. So anything else to add there?
Yeah, it destroys an extinction. Basically, they wipe all their troops out. You get a 2/2 that can attack next turn, and then he turns back into a 5/5.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. So this would definitely be a big one if you want to play Wild when set 2 comes out. Plus, he's 4 for a 5/5. I mean, that's ridiculous. Doesn't have
Yeah, he's
Crush,
great.
but yeah. Moving on, Constantina, Steadfast. This is like the first Steadfast troop I'm seeing in Wild. Troops you control can't be exhausted by opposing cards and effects. That's really important because right now another big problem for Wild is the fact that tempo just destroys it. Like
not only tempo, but this really talks to like Gorestorm.
Oh sure.
Because basically your Gralks now don't exhaust your blockers. Your Stormcall doesn't do anything. It's a pretty good card.
This is a big answer to Gralk, and you can main deck this because it's a 3/2 body in Wild. So really good for that. It looks like an elf, so I'm guessing it's so back me up on this. Everything that was down in the set 2 range, they basically were type troop, but they were probably actually had subtypes. They just weren't on the cards. So like
most likely
cards like this, it probably is an elf in its coding. It's just not on the card right now for some reason. I mean, that's pretty much
that is probably the case.
Yeah. Wounded War Heroes has +1/+0 for each other human you control. Not too much else to say on this guy. He's a really cheap ruby aggro, 20 shard deck type of card.
Well, he's going to be part of. Well, okay, I don't actually know if he's going to be part of anything, but the tricolor human deck that they're trying to build is potentially very, very strong, and that guy might be a good opener for it.
Krakengard Sea Priest says Inspire as another troop with cost equal to or greater than this troop's cost enters player in control. It gets permanent +0/+2. He's a 2/2 by himself for 3 and 1 diamond threshold. This guy is pretty good, especially in limited. He's going to get your guys out of range so they can block forever, and then hopefully you can get to your bomb or something, and then just, he's going to help you hold on to board state, that's for sure. It's another troop, right?
Yeah, this is probably part of my least favorite cycle of cards that I saw in set 2. That was basically, these cards are just better than their versions in
set 1. Yeah, true. I think my son's trying.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. The elite pyromancer is freaking ridiculous. So yeah, it's a very good card.
So I looked at this one before, and other than the art, I really wasn't into this card. Seems kind of like a trash rare to me. But it's 5 diamonds and 1. Target troop gets permanent invincible. Now it's not impossible to get this to happen, especially if you're mono diamond. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, this is not really a splashable card, so that kind of makes it less useful for me. Also, your opponent could respond to it and get a 2-for-1. It is quick action speed at least, so you can use it as a combat trick, so it is good for that. But the 5 diamond threshold is just so high, I don't know if I really like it.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I disagree slightly, and that is just because I'm on a pretty big. In fact, I will say that eventually my claim to fame will be that the threshold system is so much more lenient that I just advise people to run multicolor all the time. It's really not as bad as you think it is.
Right.
But this definitely couldn't be splashed.
You're at the con.
Yeah, you're right that you can't splash this card. But if diamond is your primary color, you could definitely run it in a card that has other colors involved. And I mean, the quality of it is again up in the air. I can't really say how good that Invincible is going to be necessarily, but I feel like there is at the very least combo potential. Like there might be a troop that you really want to be invincible for some reason, and it could be okay.
Moving on, Rallying Banner. This has cost -3 in all zones while you control a human. Inspire as a troop with cost equal to or greater than this artifact's cost comes into play under your control. It gets permanent +1/+1. This is kind of confusing. This is a lot of text. I have to reread it now. I'm watching what people are saying in channel here too. Has 3 in all zones, so you control a human. Okay, so it costs 2 possibly. Okay, so this is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'd play this. Sure, it's a buff, but you know, it's nice because it doesn't get swept by extinction. Of course, everything we talk about is extinction related, right? So, Gwaer, what do you think about this?
Oh, yeah, I think it's a great card, and it really is part of the the human deck that they're building. So I think it's fine. It's a good card, solid. It's not my favorite, obviously. It's just a buff, but
it's uncommon. You're going to see it a lot in drafts. So I mean, I maybe picked this up in my 4th or 5th pick, something like that. It's not a body. That's the biggest problem, you know. But other than that, this one I actually kind of like the flavor of. The Ebony Pawn, deal 1 damage to each opposing champion. Because we had Ivory Pawn in the last one, now we have Ebony Pawn. I wonder if we're going to get like a whole chess set eventually, and then eventually we could
that'd be hilarious.
We could take all those different artifacts and like use them in some sort of weird card chess-like manner. I don't know.
A dungeon that you can only socket a chess set worth in it, and that would be hilarious. I would love that.
That would be pretty fun to play in a dungeon where you can only play the chess pieces. This is actually somewhat playable because, like especially in limited play, dealing 1 damage to each opposing champion is at least going to get you towards your goal in some sort of stale board state. So I mean that's decent, but I don't really see this being played too much in constructed play because it doesn't affect the board state directly. Anything else to add there?
I mean, if you play it with Gazog, you're basically doubling his effect.
True.
So there's that.
Compost, basic action, destroy up to 2 target artifacts and/or constants. Pretty ridiculous. It does cost 5, so you're probably only going to run it in those ramp decks. You probably won't run it in those Shin Hair aggro decks. Yeah, it seems pretty good. You do get to choose what you're destroying. You're not destroying everything, so it doesn't affect your board state. So it seems pretty good. Not really too much else to say there.
Sure. I mean, it's another great artifact hate wild card.
Yeah, it's removable. Yeah. Lumbering Sparkle Spore. Crush. Socketable Miner twice. 5/5 for 7. I think there are better things I can do for 7 if I'm going to ramp, but it is Socketable Miner, so maybe we could come up with something in there much better.
Double socketed miner.
Yeah, it's double socketed.
Yeah, it's a draft card.
Yeah, it's a draft card.
I wouldn't see that. I mean, maybe if there's a really strong wild ramp deck and you want those like puck type things, like he probably synergizes pretty well with puck.
Sure.
But I don't see him being a constructed viable really. But you know, things happen.
I mean, I'd rather run a Jadim for 5, or Battle Beetle for 6, or
Sure.
At least he's a single threshold. I mean, that helps. Moving on, the Trick of the Light: revert target troop you control and then draw a card. Ridiculous. This is what I asked for. I said, give me something that reverts and draws a card, and here it is. Quick action that draws a card, and it's quick action speed too. So the only thing this doesn't really handle is Soul Marble. But still, I think it's an amazing card. I would definitely draft this and main deck it. Anything else?
Well, I mean, I think it's hurt a lot by Filcape, but I like it. It's good. I love Revert. I'm a big fan of just Reversion without the card draw, so I think it's a buff to that.
So it's like an anti-combat trick when you revert something, because like they attack in, something's buffed, you want to unbuff it. If something has Swiftstrike as well, it becomes a combat trick. It's pretty cool when someone like triple blocks something, right?
And it needs the triple block to kill, and one of those things has Swiftstrike, and after the Swiftstrike damage, you then revert your troops, take the damage off, and then you kill everything, and your guy doesn't die.
Oh, that's pretty sweet, yeah. Moving on, Gem Snatchers. Actually, I really like this card and the flavor of it. It's double socketable miner. I think this is extremely playable because of the double socketable miner 1/1. I think this is going to see a lot of play, and I even think it's going to see a lot of constructed play too. You're going to get your play set of these Gem Snatchers, and it'll be like turn 2 Gem Snatchers with some crazy good sockets on them. Anything else to add there? Or?
Nope.
Okay, So I think we'll go ahead and cut it off here and try to do some sort of deck doctor tonight. If you guys have any suggestions you want us to do, we don't have anything specific in mind. We have about 23 minutes to get a deck built. We are calling this the Gwaer Crush. So whatever we end up doing with this deck, it is the Gwaer Crush deck tonight.
I demand that any deck that has my name on it has at least 3 colors.
All right, so at least 3 colors in this deck. So let's look at what's in Shattered Destiny here, because I kind of want to get some set 2 cards in here. I was thinking maybe a Mentor of the Song, or maybe Stormcloud or something.
I do like a Stormcloud.
Or Cockatwice.
I do like a Stormcloud.
Stormcloud? Okay, we could put those in there. So we'll start off with those, I guess. So obviously we're playing Stormcloud. We'll probably play, what is it?
We have to have a dragon, too, according to Irish Batusai.
That's Batusi, man. That's Irish Batusi.
Batusai.
He's like a walking Batusi. I'm only going to use the ones that have been added to the client. I know there are more cards. We just reviewed a bunch of cards. Unfortunately, right now, I talked to Orlando, Bogdan, about this, and he said that he's waiting to get this. But we do get to use all the different Shard variances, the new Shard things.
Sure.
So there are there's that.
See, we could do a 3-color Cockatwice deck. That would be Blood Diamond Wild. That'd be Blood Diamond Wild.
Sure, we'll go Blood Diamond Wild.
That's gonna be rough.
Some sort of Cockatwice deck. Let's see. So what are we socketing Cockatwice with? We're giving it Spellshield and
Spellshield and Swiftstrike.
Swiftstrike. Okay. So we're probably going to be mostly we're going to be Splash for Sapphire then. Is that how that's going to go?
Yeah. Well, forget Sapphire.
Forget Sapphire.
We've changed.
We've changed. Okay.
Yeah, we've changed. We've changed our mind.
It has to have an Omen of Oblivion. Okay, so we are.
I mean, he makes a valid point, which is that I love Omen of Oblivion, but I don't think we have to have Omen of Oblivion.
So here's one thing that's interesting about this Necrophage Sensei. It says, as a troop enters play, it gets permanent +1/+1 for each troop in your graveyard. Not each Shinhair, each troop.
Yeah.
Really good. I really like
He's
this
very
guy.
strong.
Yeah, I think he's really
very
good.
strong.
I
Throw
don't
him
know
in
if he's
there.
going to go in this one, but you'll throw him in there?
Throw him in there.
All right.
We can get rid of him if we don't like him. Throw him in there.
All right, that's true. That's true. That's true. All right, so we should probably get the rest of the cards in here. Look at the Shards of Fate, and then we'll do PvP to try to help us narrow things down. You said we are going with colors of Blood, Wild, and you said Diamond?
Diamond, right.
Yes, all right. So let's see what kind of things we can put in here. So probably want some Murder. That's always a classic, right? Corruption. Probably not really what we're... What are we going for? Are we going for aggro or control? What are we doing here?
We're probably going for a bit of aggro, I think. A bit of aggro. It's the Gwaer Crush. The Gwaer Crush deck, after all.
Yeah, okay. So we'd probably put the Vamp King in here, I guess, maybe, for now.
Sure, Vamp King. That's a good option. Throw Uruunaz in there. You can throw Uruunaz in there. He's a dragon.
He is a dragon. So just one for now?
Yeah, just one Uruunaz.
Just one Uruunaz. We can't have too many. I mean, it is Gwaer's deck. He can't get overpowered. Soul Marble's always a classic.
Sure.
Especially right now.
There's a lot of set 2. There's a lot of good set 2 diamond that's available.
Actually, we may not actually need these Chaos Keys. I'm putting Chaos Keys in, and I forgot that we've got what is it called? Exile. The Exile card in Diamond that we can use.
Yeah, we don't need Chaos Keys.
We don't really need Chaos Keys when we have whatever it is, Exile. You know, I was just typing it on the top. I know it has Exile in the name.
Solitary Exile, you mean?
Solitary Exile, yeah. I don't want to say anything else, because if I say something else, it'll be copyrighted. You know, try to stay away from copyrighted things, except for these cards, which are also copyrighted. Anyways. So we put in the Vamp King. I'm guessing, are we going to go and throw the Spider in here or not so much? I mean, our 4-point range.
The biggest issue with the Solitary Exile is 2 diamond threshold. We don't want too many of those things, but
yeah,
one's probably fine.
So just one Inquisitor?
Inquisitor, I don't think we need in this deck.
Okay.
I don't think this is an Inquisitor deck.
Not an Inquisitor deck. Okay. Let's see, what else could we have in here? We need we need some turn 1 drops. You want to try to do the Shepherd thing, or not so much?
No, we're not going 5-color. I don't think. I
Yeah,
don't
with
think we're going 5
that
color in
one
this one.
guy's deck that did pretty well. Top aided in the last tournament during Gen Con.
Oh, I love a 5-color deck. I'm all about some 5-color, but that's not what we're doing.
Put like,
Let's
well,
see,
do we
one
want
drop.
repel in here or not? Because we're trying to be aggressive, so we shouldn't have to repel anything, right?
I would rather have repel over murder, to be honest.
Really?
Yes, pretty much any day. I'm a much bigger proponent of repel than murder.
Yeah, but if you think about it, I mean, we're like, if our opponent's sitting back, you're not going to get to repel anything. Are we playing Living Totem in here?
We could. Living Totem's good. Living Totem's good.
Totem's good. Let's see. We're trying to make this 3 colors. Oh, I guess
also put in Oberon's Eulogy. Is that in there? Does he have that? Is that too?
Eulogies? That I don't think that's
Oberon.
Oberon. OBE?
Yeah, OBE.
Yeah, he doesn't have it in here yet. Yeah.
Dang, okay. That card's really good with the Necrophage Sensei because basically it also synergizes with troops in the graveyard.
Let's see here. Probably don't want Righteous Paladin. That seems pretty bad. Wish we could run Wild Root Dancer, but he doesn't have that single threshold anymore. That was a long time ago.
Sure.
Cloud Knight's just not quite good enough. Angel of Dawn.
Throw in some
probably
sword
not
trainers, I suppose.
Sword Trainer? Really?
Yeah, he's a 1-drop. I don't like him, but he's a 1-drop. You're looking for 1-drops.
Sword Trainer's a 1-drop?
Or not sword drop, the defense one. The defense trainer.
Right, yeah. Whatever. Yeah, that guy. Okay, you're talking about what used to be the picture of Krakengar Mariner.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Scrivener. Where's that sword guy? Actually, I can just sort it by his cost. We'll do it that way.
That'll be much easier.
Yes, that would be easier. You got Chargebot, Scrivener, Shield Trainer is what you're looking for. Not really.
Shield Trainer, that's the one.
Yeah, Shield Trainer. I think I'd play Sapper's Charge over Shield Trainer though.
Sapper's Charge, I'm with you. I like a Sapper's Charge. We can throw that in there instead.
Yeah, I think that's a better 1-drop for us, especially with the colors, because we got the 3 colors, or the 3 shard types rather. That
sure.
Will make it easier. Maybe an Infusion Device or 2. Maybe. Although no, we'll have the new resources, so we won't need Infusion Device. We should
and run the new resources.
Yeah, we are running new resources. Curse of Oblivion on the reserves, I guess. Maybe like 3 of those.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Sure. Why ask why? Drink.
Indeed.
Try. Yes.
I can't believe you just
Minion of Yazukan. This guy's got to go in, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this guy's freaking awesome. I love this guy. When it dies, it goes underground. When it goes underground, it gets permanent +1/+0. So it just keeps coming back, and it's a problem when it does come back. So I think that's pretty amazing.
I mean, you can void it, interconflict it. There's a lot of options for it, but yes, it's very good. I like it a lot.
Striker up or something, or just take the damage. Just take the 1 point of damage every turn for a little while.
Yep.
So this actually didn't turn out that bad, except we got this crazy Uruunaz, but he has to be in there.
He has to be. Yeah, we can't take him out.
We can't take him out. So this actually is kind of an interesting aggro deck here.
We've only got mainly Blood and Wild in there too.
Well, we haven't got any wild. We didn't put like hardly any wild.
Or rather, Blood and Diamond. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't put
any wild at all.
This speaks to how like weak wild is right now a little bit. Like when we were
well, we can put in the charge guy that gives +1/+1 to your troops. At least put him in.
He isn't on the thing yet. The set 2 guy. Yeah. So there's a 4/4 in set 2 that that when you gain a charge, he gives your guys +1/+1. So we could play Senseis, but that's kind of junky. It's not really aggro-y.
Yeah. Not what we want. We could throw in Amplifier Instigators, maybe.
Or
they're 5 cost. We need lower costs.
Yeah.
Need lower cost troops.
Yeah, we're trying to get low right now. Yeah, I'm really not seeing it. Gastroll really is not it. Stargazer, no, because we aren't in Sapphire. I hate using Stargazer without being in like both of these, both Diamond and Sapphire.
Feral Ogre also isn't an option because it's 2 threshold. We're not going to get him out early
well, if
enough.
you're going to play Feral Ogre, then you might as well play Wild Root Dancer. So, yeah.
Sure.
Let's see. Cottontail Ronin's kind of an option, though. That's kind of an option. Kind of. For aggro. I mean,
kind of. Right.
It's kind of an option. Yeah. Sure. Why not?
Infiltrator Bot, also theoretically pretty good, but still high cost.
Oh, that's the 2. Is it 2 cost,
5
right?
cost.
Oh, it's the 5 cost.
5.
Well, that's the new one, right? Another new one.
No, he's that one.
Protector Defenders, kind of not really. You got your Darkspire cycle.
Howling Braves.
Oh yeah, Howling Brave. Yeah, there we go. That will help us get into that. Play our guy faster. Play those vampires faster, like a fast vampire. Maybe Oaken Ceremony to find the vampire. Definitely put Inquisition on the reserves. Probably not main it because they're trying to aggro in game 1. What else? What else could we put in here? Well, they have Stone Tusk in here. When you're dealt damage, sacrifice this. So bad. Then there's that Root Father. Bad. This guy's also pretty bad. I mean, he's alright. I mean, he does survive extinction at least. And when it dies...
What's that Cottontail guy up one from Stone Tusk? What's that guy? I'm watching your stream, so I'm a bit behind you.
Yeah, Cottontail Recruiter he creates a Battle Hopper. He's more for the Shinhair aggro deck, which I wanted to do Shinhair tonight, but we don't have enough stuff in the editor right now to enough of the new stuff. We really needed the one where when the Shinhair enters your hand, it gets +1/+1. That's the one we really needed, and it's not here.
That guy's really good.
And there's a couple others also that we want to have.
Sure.
All right, so I think we have
unfortunately, a lot of the set 2 cards aren't available. We haven't talked about the Eternal Drifter. I see him on your screen right there. Eternal Drifter is a pretty good card. You might want to read it to your people.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Here he is.
He's above. He's above Yazukan.
This starts the game with a random champion charge power without its threshold required. Oh yeah, this guy is crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's legendary too, probably for a reason. So yeah, we could try to throw maybe 2 of these guys. We don't have any 6-drops yet, so and we're trying to curve out decently well. We do have some ramp elements with the early Howling Brave, so that helps out. So I guess we'll go ahead and just throw. It'll be 4 of each of the different things that are. Actually, it'll be 12 of these, won't it? That'll fit each one of the different things as dual shards to help us get there. And we might. I don't even know if we're going to play Shards of Fate in here. I don't think we will. The problem with these is they're going to make us a lot slower. We're going to be a lot.
I cannot have Shards of Fate on any deck with my name on it. I'm sorry, that's not an option.
Not an option. All right, so Shards of the Ancients. For now we'll just put 4 of these. We'll probably pare these down a little bit once we count the shards and pare the deck down. Let's see. We need to get the one that's Diamond and Blood. So Shard of Retribution. Pretty soon I'll have these memorized. I love the fact that these are all uncommons, by the way. I love that. I think that game makes the game much more accessible than playing other games that are like this. We'll say it that way. Okay, I think I mean,
I imagine we will eventually see some rare lands and some probably... I doubt we'll see commons just because I think we'll see them too much. Like, if they put these as common, you would be seeing them all the time because there are just so many of them.
Sure. I think uncommon is about right, though. I think that makes it accessible to a point where, yes, people still have to buy, a decent amount of cards to get the stuff. But I hate buying $40 resources. I hate it. It's because, that's an expensive base, and it doesn't even really do anything. It just basically makes sure I can play the cards that do things. That annoys me. I don't know about you guys. That really annoys me.
I feel that you are trying to say that you are annoyed by that.
Yes, you would be right by that. Your dragon intuitions are right.
Excellent.
Excellent, Smithers. All right, so I'm just kind of putting shards in here.
I would like to point out that you currently have 20 viewers, by the way.
Okay, sweet.
So that was the number you set.
That is the number that I set. Maybe I'm so ecstatic about having 20 viewers, I might just give away both. We'll give away like one of each of a Jovial Pipit, and we will give away the Broski Busk. How about that? After the program's over, which is going to end in about 7 minutes. And it'll be after we end the program.
So you're going to give away the Jovial Pipit alternate art card, the troop.
Yes.
And you're going to give away the mercenary,
the Broski Busk. Yes, I have them right here.
Okay.
Ready to be scratched off.
In that case, I will also give away the sleeve. So that way we're giving away one of everything.
The sleeve too. The sleeve is going to happen no matter what. The sleeve's that.
All right, good.
I've got it's all.
And I won't give away anything on your stream. You can provide your own
anything
prizes.
You want to on my stream. So I'm not going to stop.
That's true. Okay.
I don't think. All right.
This will be a giveaway for Colin's producer tier. Since I can give away anything I want, I will be giving it away to myself. So congratulations, me! Woo!
Good job. I knew you could do it. We've already got 12 shards in here, so that's 12. Another 15 would make it 27. So let's just take that down right now, just so we have a count of what we need. So we've got 10 plus 12 would be 22, 23. So there's 23. Maybe we'll make it 24 for now, because we do have 3 different things. Oh, what champion do we want for this? Probably Zared.
Oh man,
probably Zared.
Yeah, we've only seen one set 2 champion, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean there are
That's
other champions, but apparently I'm not seeing champions right now.
Okay, all right. I suppose Zared will be fine. Blood is probably our primary shard. We do have a lot more of it, though. We have a lot of diamond early too.
That's why. We'll see. We might change this. Okay, so we're definitely keeping Uruunaz. The Vampire Kings, we definitely probably want to keep those. The Murders, you said you wanted to get rid of, so we can take that down to 1 for now. Maybe throw some on the reserves just in case. The thing about Murder compared to Repel is it's just a lot more proactive. That's why I prefer it. But
it doesn't affect artifacts, which is why I hate it. Because artifacts are a huge threat.
So we're playing a kind of a hyper-aggressive aggro deck. So Soul Marble is really good for decks that aren't aggressive, that come through mid-rangey. So we could probably move this to the reserves completely, and maybe play it there if we play it at all. But I think we can safely take Soul Marble out of this deck because we're trying to be aggressive.
I agree. I mean, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Soul Marble can be pretty okay, like as just a resource dump, but you are giving up. It's not an early play. It's not something that you want in an aggro deck generally.
Right. Same reason why I got rid of the Solitary Exile is it's not a body. It is removal. It's proactive removal. It's not quick action speed. It's double threshold compared to the Murder. The Murder's 1. So I guess it depends on how much removal we want. So I guess if we're running the Solitary Exile, then that makes there less of a reason to run these Murders, so we could probably get rid of it now. Now we take a look at that. But we do still have the Murder on the reserves in case we need it at quick action speed. Sapper's Charge is also technically quick action speed, but it sits on the table and your opponent knows that it's there, so they can play around it. So it's not as good for a quick action speed removal, which is something situation you might
for
run
3
into.
resources. For 3 resources, it's quick action speed. Well, it's not actually quick action, but on your turn you can throw it out and then activate it. So.
Sure. Right, yeah. I mean, it's surprising on your turn, but I'm saying, on your opponent's turn is what we really want to have with the Murder. That's the big boon to having Murder. So what else? We were at 64. We actually almost have the deck built now, but we reduced our 3-point range kind of low. I hate that. But we do have a lot of early drops, so that's kind of good, I guess. Cockatwice is a 5-drop. We might be able to get rid of one of those, I think. We can get rid of one of those, and then one of these 6-drop Eternal Drifters to kind of curve out that way. It would be nice to get some more 3-drops back in here, though, so I think we might need to get some 3-drops.
I agree. Why don't we just pull up a list of like 3-drops?
Yeah,
We
that's
can
what
look
I'm
what we
doing.
got.
Yeah, let's look at 3-drops. We gotta get a good 3-drop in here. Corpse Fly is a good one.
Definitely.
We're looking at 3-drop bodies, things that are aggressive. Lord Alex is kind of. Oh wait, we're not looking at the right colors now because I turned those off. Blood, Diamond, and Wild. Yeah. So other 3-drops we could do is Briar Legion is somewhat aggressive. I mean, that could be kind of exciting. People don't play Briar Legion, you know. Crash of Beasts is another one, but it's double threshold.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Let's see. I like Skirmisher. Nellibrand Skirmisher is always fun.
Yeah, Nellibrand Skirmisher. Yeah, actually, I think that should be.
Quick Strider. Quick Strider is also another option.
I think Skirmishers, yeah, it's a little bit better though. Especially if, I mean, it's not going to be as good because we put the spell shield on them and it won't be active unless we have the 2 wild threshold. So it's a little bit clunky that way.
Lixil also is another option for some threshold fixing if we feel like we need it.
Oh yeah, Lixil. Yeah, we could run like a 2 of Lixil. I like that. I like that idea. Where's Lixil? Where are you? Li.
Glimmerglen Witch is an okay 3-drop just because you get some health, but she has a 3 back end, 3 defense, which is good that they can't just burn her out.
So. I'm gonna let you talk while they cry and throw fits.
Sure. Let's see what other bodies are available. Wailing Banshee is another potential option. What else do we have? I'm actually just trying to watch your stream as you scroll through this stuff, so it's...
Yeah. And she's trying to calm them down right now. Really sorry about this, guys. So, I guess the Corpse Fly, maybe?
Yeah, Corpse Fly is good.
I mean,
I'm a big fan of Corpse Fly.
We're kind of like maining blood, so... And it's the body that we're really kind of coming in there with.
Yeah, but a 2/1 body is not very
yeah, it's
helpful.
Yeah, it's a body that's aggressive, I guess. It's got the evasion and it's discarding cards. So I'm gonna get rid of some of these Sapper's charges because our 1-point range is so stocked right now. Sapper's charge is good for removal, but it's not really aggressive. So I can get rid of another one of those there. Another thing that's interesting is that we're playing 3 shards, so hopefully Eternal Drifter will pick up some champion ability that we will be able to use because we have 3 out of 5. Because there's no...
Well, Eternal Drifter doesn't have a threshold requirement.
Oh, so it doesn't even care. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that could be interesting. I feel like this is mostly just like the funsies kind of a deck.
Of course, it's a funsies kind of deck. It's called Gwaer Crush. Everything about that is fun.
I agree. So I think we're pretty much there. We just need to figure out where our shards are going to go. I got rid of 2 Cottontail Ronins because they're really good early and not so great late. And I feel like the Howling Braves are more important to get us into this 7/7, this 7-cost Uruunaz. Plus we're butted up against time. So we need to do our curve here. So let's look. We've got 26 blood shards. This is how many icons we have. I specifically asked for Bogdan to add this to the thing. I'm glad that he did for times like this. 12 diamond and 6 wild. So probably what we want to see is something like maybe 2 wild, 4 diamond, and the rest blood. Something like that is probably what we want to see. So like 6 blood. The thing is, like...
I think you should do a bit of that out of the special dual shards.
Yeah, we need to figure this out. So blood is the main one, so all the blood ones will probably stay. And this one that's diamond and wild can actually come down. So we'll probably take that down to, I don't know, 2 or 1. Probably 1. Because we're trying to be aggressive. So probably 1. And then we can go ahead and come up here and then buff our blood shards back up. Actually, we can buff each one of these 1. And there you go. That's the deck, I guess. Well, you'd still want to play around and get your shard base right. I mean, this isn't going to be super competitive, I guess, because there's a very good chance you could end up with like a bunch of 5-drops in your opening hand with Uruunaz and not have your ramp. Plus, you're playing 3 shards, so you could get stuck there. But Cockatwice is a pretty strong card to follow up after Vampire King, especially with Swiftstrike and lethal, and it has lethal by itself, and you give it Swiftstrike. Yeah. Swiftstrike, lethal,
and Spellshield.
And or Spellshield, and yeah, we're Swiftstrike, Spellshield.
And lethal.
And lethal. Yeah, I mean that's just Swiftstrike and lethal by itself is like that's like enough. Yeah.
A Spellshield helps.
Yeah, Spellshield definitely helps. So, and I guess that's another reason why we can't really put Spellshield on the other guy. So it's good that we didn't put him in here. Put the Scout in here. Whew! Wow. Well, I think
that is one heck of a deck you've built.
That is one heck of a deck we built.
I am proud to have my name on that deck, though. So
hey, you guys, when set 2 comes out, you guys can try out the Gwaer Crush and tell me how many people you crushed with it. Hopefully a lot of people.
Don't try it. Don't do it.
So let's just go over the episode tonight. So tonight I had Gwaer on. He's a dragon.
I am a dragon.
He actually can transform in real life, so he can fit into the convention center. So he doesn't look like this all the time, in case you guys are wondering.
Sometimes I look like this.
Sometimes he looks like that. We talked about some of the patch notes. We didn't really talk about the Drew Walker interview very much, but if you guys haven't checked it out, go ahead and check that out. That was at Gen Con. I just posted that on my YouTube. It's one of the most recent videos that people are watching and talking about some PvE stuff. We went over some spoilers from set 2, and then we built the Gwaer Crush deck, and it is going to crush the dreams of a lot of people that are out there. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll have to wait until set 2 comes out to try it. And yes, stick around, because after the end of the episode, I will definitely be doing the giveaways. And yeah, until next time, this is Aaron Squire signing off, saying God bless you and your families, and try not to rage too much out there. And Gwaer saying something.
Rawr.